Hi there, everyone, and welcome back to the Clydeside Containers podcast. This is where we get to meet some of the weird and wonderful individuals that are going to be involved in the soon-to-be with us premier eatery and live events venue coming to Glasgow very, very soon at the Clydeside. Right, I'm Billy Kirkwood, but relax, I've never heard of me either. Let's talk to today's very special guest. I think a good way of doing it is letting you introduce yourself. So, for the benefit of the boys and girls watching, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, my name is George, or in Greek Yorgos.
Yorgos?
I guess it's harder, to say Yorgos, but yeah, George is my name, and I'm running a Greek street food place called Greek Street Yeeros.
Yes.
So yeah, before that I was an architect.
Well, that's it. We have to talk about the journey that you have been on, because everyone that we've had on the podcast, we get to learn a little bit about how they got to where they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Greek Street Yeeros, which thank you again for teaching me how to say right and for putting it on your sign phonetically so people can pronounce it right. You said when you came to Glasgow initially, well, that's not how it's spelled, but people were totally mispronouncing what it was.
I think when the first Greeks started immigrating to other countries, America, mainly America, I think they were spelling it. They were writing it with Gyros.
Right.
So this makes people naturally read it as gyros, pronounce it gyros. So yeah, I mean, when you are Greek and you hear someone saying gyros, it's like, it doesn't sound right, So I was always thinking, it's not gyros. So how could I write it in a way that people will pronounce it right? So
Yeah.
so this is why we started spelling it, Yeeros, and this is our brand pretty much, Greek Street Yeeros. Yeah.
So gyros means something completely different in Scotland. It's like your benefit money you get from the government.
Yeah.
Which people must have been very excited about
Yeah.
when they heard that was coming. But because it is spelled totally different to how you would spell it back at home.
Yeah, I mean, the Greek alphabet is completely different. Not completely, but many of the letters are different than the Latin one.
Do you get Greek people coming here and seeing how you've spelled it for
Yeah,
the first time?
they are-
Go, what's this?
they're-
You
they're-
spelled it wrong.
No, Greek people actually like the way it's been
That's cool.
written, because they say, and they are happily surprised. They say this is how it should be spelled. So yeah, they really like it. They're really happily amazed.
Yeah. So when we were down at Greek Street Yeeros a couple of weeks ago, it was you were mobbed. You were absolutely mobbed. I understand it's just been another busy weekend for you as well.
Yeah.
Down at the Barras. First of all, the Barras are an iconic kind of area of the city, but there's a connection there that goes back beyond you starting up there, isn't there?
Well, yeah. I mean, when I moved, I was studying in London, but I wanted to stay in the UK. But I wanted to find a place which is more kind of represents my personality, more kind of a place which is big but at the same time small as well. So I chose Glasgow for that, and also I saw the street culture, the graffitis and the artists. So I chose Glasgow for that reason. Because it represents my psychology and myself. And then one of the first places that I visited was the Barras. And I really loved it from the first time because of the graffitis, the street art, it's a very creative place.
It's got an energy as well.
It has a really nice energy, which, represents my personality and who I am. I was like a graffiti artist, a skateboarder. So
wow.
I get this kind of energy from there, creative people from different kind of creative background, but everyday people as well. So a year after, my dad wanted to make a shop, like Yeeros shop.
Right.
So actually, he had a small unit inside Barras.
Oh.
So that was maybe 2014, 2015 or something. So I was helping him as well back then. I was running I was an architect, so I couldn't help him 100%, but I was contributing, with what he was doing. Back then, Yeeros was really not that popular. You could find Yeeros only in restaurants.
Do you think that's just because people hadn't experienced it yet? It just hadn't kind of made it into popular culture is maybe the wrong way of putting it, because that's what you're kind of doing now.
Yeah,
But people just hadn't got to experience that type of cuisine yet.
I think back then the Greeks were not pushing that much. This
Right.
I think back then there were only Greek restaurants. There were no street food places. So when you go to a Greek restaurant, you see a variety of things. So you don't just see gyros, but gyros belongs in the streets.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a street food. It's the Greek street food. It's quite hard when you see it in restaurants. You know what I mean? Like that's why I'm saying Greek keep it in the streets. Keep it street.
I haven't seen Greek Street Yeeros. I can't really think of that again serving in a restaurant now. That's the only way I could see it getting done.
Yeah, definitely.
So your dad had that connection. You were involved in that place as well. So you were always going to come back to the Barrel of Athens, do you think? And then you brought your own thing. To surmise to people that have maybe don't know what gyros is, because like you say, people are learning every day. Although plenty of people know what it is now in Glasgow, because you had a queue out the door.
Yeah,
we couldn't get near the counter, and I know it was a busy one, which is great to see. It's great to see.
Yeah, it's. I mean, literally, Greek Street Yeeros started. It's a really, like, we started on July last year. So it's a
Really?
it's a very new thing, but it doesn't feel like, it feels that people know us for years. You know what I mean? Like people start coming and they say, this person told me that you are doing a good Yeeros. We came here, and there are people that are coming back and again and again and again. They say, like, this is the best Yeeros that we had, so we are keep coming back. And the more time is passing, the more regulars we have, and new people that they heard it from somewhere else. Yeah. And also from the social media. They like the vibe that we have on social media. So Yeeros, it's I mean, it's a very straightforward food. Right. It's because Greek kitchen is all about simplicity. It's all about simplicity and nice taste, rich taste. So Yeeros is made on the Yeeros machines, which are similar to doner machines. Right. So spins around the fire. It's either chicken, pork. It can be beef. It can be lamb. You on this machine you can put whatever you like, really. Okay. But the most traditional is the chicken, the pork, and the lamb as well. So you get the meat from the machine. You cut it, and then it's juicy. You put it in a Greek pita wrap. Fluffy, really nice one, with tzatziki or other sauces, like another traditional sauce for gyros is the mustard mayo one. Yeah. Which we do as well. And then fries, tomatoes, onions, parsley, oregano, paprika, just to make it even more flavorsome. Yeah. And then we wrap it, so it kind of becomes, like you hold it on your hand, so it's easier, it's like a sandwich. It's like a sandwich. Yeah.
So it's like a really kind of like international kind of take on it's fast food, but it's not fast food at the same time, because I think some people can think of that a certain way, but because it's so fresh and clean, like you say, it's simplistic, fresh, clean, direct tasting, but so flavoursome. It's
I mean, there are many people that they come around Barras, and they haven't tried gyros before. Yeah. So we give them samples. We say we do free samples. You can try. And you can see it in their face. As soon as they try, they say, how we've never tried this before. Yeah. Like, it's when I see this expression, it makes me really happy. But because obviously I grew up with this food. Yeah. Like seeing someone is like seeing the light. Like, it's like. Wow. So people really love it. Yeah.
So one of the things is it was important to you to put your own spin on it, because like you say, I mean, you would go to maybe like world food markets, and there's nothing wrong with gyros that's been served at world food markets or something, but it was always kind of presented in a similar way. It's like when we have food markets here in Scotland, and if it's Scottish food, it's always presented in a certain way, tradition, not dull or anything, just a certain way. but you were kind of like, I want to put my spin on this from the front door to the person's taking the first bite.
Definitely. I mean, I was never really, as a skateboarder, artist. I was always architect as well. I was always trying to be creative and give to the people the real thing. That comes from the soul. So first of all, it was important for me to be something that I feel comfortable with. Like the graphics, the atmosphere. But at the same time, it represents Athens, because Yeeros was born in Athens, and Athens is a very creative place, can be very chaotic as well. A lot of graffitis, a lot of street artists, hip hop, a lot of the alternative scene in Athens is really vibrant.
Yeah.
So I'm part of this scene as well. So I wanted to represent Athens and the streets of Athens.
So kind of like the modern Athens that a lot of people, and the kind of culture that's coming out of that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the traditional side.
No,
nothing wrong with the legacy stuff.
Yeah.
But this is where we are now, and I want to help you learn how to be that person, and you wanted to represent that.
Yeah, I mean, Athens, it's, you see, on the, you see Parthenon. On the top of the hill,
yes,
and at the same time you have the graffitis on the bottom on old buildings and things like that. So Athens combines the classic Athens and modern years in a very unique way, which this is what I try to do, because I use the theme of the Greek gods, holding pitas and so I'm combining the Greek gods with graffitis and which.
And it brings that kind of, like you say, that street culture, that kind of skater culture that you had, which is so creative and out there, and kind of connects with modern people. But the people that are coming into your restaurant in the Barrowlands, and will come down to the Clydeside. I mean, they are like 16 to 60 and beyond.
Yeah.
So you get loads of people. So do you think it is the fresh presentation that's kind of helped make the connection? First of all, and then the way you present the foods as well, because it is your own unique stamp that's on it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's everything. Success, it's in the details.
Yes.
So I think it's everything. It's the fresh approach. People, it's youthful. It's fresh.
Yeah.
It's honest. I think people see honesty. When they talk to me, they see honesty with me as well, because this is another thing that I love, the communication with the people. They are waiting for the food, but they love, telling me some Greek words, for example, that they learned when they traveled, or, so.
We call that in Glasgow the banter. Right?
The banter,
We call that the banter. And I have to say, when I went in, the energy kind of reminded me, it sounds like an odd thing to say, it kind of reminds me of like the bakeries and cafes and places that I went when I was a kid, because there was always someone there kind of engaging with, mums and dads and everything else. And you've got that, like you've just slotted straight into Glasgow with that, because it must have been even just people walking past shouting, John!
Yeah, free Yeeros. I mean, I think especially with the Barras, and I think Glasgow. Yeah. That's why I feel very comfortable in Glasgow. I feel great. like I've been here, in my whole life. So people love this honesty, and they are coming back and they are writing comments saying, all the staff are amazing, and it's not just about food. It's like go there and talk with them, and
you're absolutely right. If you feel like there's a connection with the people in there, you're definitely going to come back.
Yeah.
We got to learn a little bit more about you, because it is the most little breadcrumbs of like, when you're an architect and you're a skater, and it's like, right, how does that journey go from being, first of all, becoming an architect, and then still having the eye of it? Obviously, you're really plugged in with the kind of blood of street culture and what have you. That's a big part of who you are. But how do you take the journey to an architect, and then it moves on? How does that? Because you mentioned London.
Yes, I mean, my whole life, I was since when I was becoming a teenager. The first time I heard hip hop, I said, this is my music. This is my style, street style. I said, wow, this is something else, So I started listening to Greek hip hop, then American one, French. I got really into the street culture, fashion,
I was going to ask you a little bit about Greek hip hop
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
like, having heard Greek in its native language,
Yeah,
I mean that must be just bursting with energy.
yeah,
Greek hip hop.
I mean, yeah, like Greek hip hop is very, it has a lot of energy. It represents obviously the Greek culture, our problems,
Yeah.
and it's very popular. I think in Greece, hip hop is probably one of the most popular music.
So it's right up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but as I said, there's a massive alternative scene in Greece.
Yes,
Like
yes.
rock, punk as well. I mean, there's an area in Athens called Exarchia,
Right.
which is pretty much very, very creative area, and you find amazing little cafes. Like amazing places,
Yeah.
like if someone will go to Athens, it's good to go there.
Yeah.
Exarchia. I mean, it can be quite controversial area,
Okay.
but I think in controversial areas is where you find honesty.
Yes.
This is where you find soul. You know what I mean? It's not polished area.
Yeah.
It's not like flashy and things like that. But
Yeah.
this is where you find the realness, raw
Yeah.
honesty. So I'm getting inspired a lot from this area because many people worry. Oh, we have to. Are we gonna do mistakes? We shouldn't be doing mistakes, or we shouldn't be experimenting. But no, you should.
Yeah.
You should be doing mistakes. You should be experimenting as long as you feel it and you are honest with it. Be creative.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Was being an architect the original plan?
No, I mean, from my interaction with the city, as a graffiti artist, as a skateboarder, because I was a street skateboarder, graffiti artist in the city. So I was like observing the city, like
Right.
the buildings and how I was trying to find the right spot for my graffiti. Where does it look nice? Like if I'll take a picture, where does it look nice? Like how to frame it. I was thinking like without knowing, I was thinking like a photographer, as a urban planner,
Right.
like as an architect already. And then I started getting this connection with the city. I started talking with the city, So I said, what I could do that connects me with the city. And straight away I said architecture, like build the city, pretty much.
Yeah.
So connect with the city, with the people, with the vibe. How do I create a vibe as an architect, as a creative person?
Yes.
And communicate with the people, and I shape their life.
Love
So this is how architecture. I think I was already an architect, but I didn't know it. Like yeah.
But that's good. That's good though, making that connection with it. I mean, it's a so you go to university.
Yeah,
Do
in
architect-
London.
Is that's in London? So you make the trip to
Yeah.
London. Was that a big change culturally? Going from Greece to coming to London. I mean, obviously, I know you said you already had connections with the city. Was it a big cultural change for you?
I was always kind of, because my music, as I said, it was I wasn't just listening to Greek music. I was listening to as I said, American, French, Latin hip hop, like Cypress Hill.
Well, I was going to ask actually, just to wind back for just a millisecond. Who's your guy? Who's your girl? Who is the hip hop artist that you go?
Well, I think
number one in my Spotify.
Wu-Tang was my first American hip hop group that I listened, and Wu-Tang Forever, it was the album that I listened, and I said, these guys, like I'm talking now and I'm getting goosebumps, and I still listen to these guys, and it's like I'm listening for the first time, like it never goes away, this feeling,
Love that.
And then from hip hop, from French hip hop, the Supreme NTM, which are very famous from Latin American hip hop, Cypress Hill. Like I love like
I can see it. I can see it. In your eyes. So you make the jump to London. You're doing architecture there. That's a big cultural change for you?
Well, I mean, because I was listening to all these people and I was watching documentaries, and it wasn't for me. I always wanted to experience the world.
Okay.
So I always want to travel. Like from seeing from the TV to be in the actual place, it's a little bit different, It's but it wasn't as bad as it would be for other people that they wouldn't have connection with
Yeah.
Yeah, I always want to travel pretty
Yes.
much. So
So you're just going all
yeah,
in.
yeah, all in,
Oh,
definitely,
I love that.
all in.
So, eventually it brings you to Glasgow.
Yeah.
Where are the family settled in Glasgow at the time?
Yeah, yeah. My family came here after me. They came here in 2013, 14.
Right.
I was in the UK since 2007.
Right.
So they came here because we wanted to be all together.
Yeah.
And, I told them nice things about Glasgow, and they didn't really think about it. So they came, yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
that is wild.
Yeah,
When
so
they went, let's just go to Glasgow, then follow the boy, make sure
exactly,
he's okay.
yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I love that.
So then I have my cousins here. So I have like probably 15 people from my family here. My cousins and my
Wow.
parents, my nephews, my brother. His family. So yeah, it feels we have two homes now.
Oh, wow.
Greece and Scotland.
Oh, wow. So we're in Glasgow. You've worked with your dad on what he's done. He's taking that chance.
Yeah.
Was it round about that time? Because I know your dad kind of went, right, okay, I'm gonna move on to something else.
Yeah.
Was it round about that time you went, I could maybe do this? I mean, it's still another.
Yeah.
It's still another 5 or 6 years before you'll get a place. But you start thinking like, even then, are you thinking, well, that's how Dad did it? Does Greek Street Yeeros start having a place in your mind round about then? Do you start thinking about it?
As soon as I came in the UK, even when I was in London, I couldn't find a place that like a food place, Greek food place that represents real Greece. I was, when you are from another country and you are coming to a new country, you try to find a place to get the food that you were getting in your country.
Yeah, of course.
I couldn't get it somewhere, like the way I was getting it in Greece. So, and also the representation, I was kind of disagreeing, or I had my own.
Okay.
So
if you could find it, it was okay, but it wasn't really what you wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was always in my mind to make a Greek, a street food place that has the soul of Greece. Even. And the soul of Greece is not just the gyros. It's as I said, the communication is the chaotic Greece can be quite chaotic. Athens as well. So this energy that is not just the food, it's the energy. The portions as well in the food as well. The little touches. Spontaneity. Get a little bit of lemon and you squash it on top, so more kind of the raw, I don't know how can I call it, but spontaneity. Greeks, we are very spontaneous in Greece,
Yes.
like let's try this,
Well, your entire family moved to another country, so I think it's but so in terms of going from being the architect, working with your dad, I'm going to give this a go. Greek Street Yeeros. I've kind of got an idea of what's going to be. I want to bring that kind of punk subculture. I want people to be educated. And what we're doing is something different, but I want to bring them something fresh and exciting.
Yeah.
When does it start becoming, right, I'm going to do, how do you start making those steps towards having your own place?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you going to world food markets? Are you doing other things? What I'm basically trying to say is, where does it go from being an architect to being a cook? Where does it go from? How does that transition happen?
I was always I always appreciated tasty food.
Well, it's a big part of the culture,
Yes.
isn't it? Yeah.
I don't like going to places and just if the food doesn't taste good, I don't. As much as hungry I am, I don't enjoy it. So I choose to go to places that I eat food and I enjoy it.
Yes.
Like this was happening because I grew up in a family. My mom was cooking, my dad was cooking, were cooking, both of them, and it was tasty food. So,
so it's kind of ingrained in you already.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's a big thing here in Scotland, and a lot of a couple of the guys we've been talking to already that are involved with the Clydeside, they seem to get like their first kind of love of food is at home.
Yeah.
And it just becomes part of the kind of who they are. It
Yeah.
becomes part of who you are, doesn't it? So when do you start going for, I'm going to make this a business.
Yeah.
When's the day that the pencil goes down to a certain respect and we're going, let's get this out here?
so yeah, I was an architect, and I love architecture. I love design. That's why I'm trying to. I'm doing all the graphics by myself. I've done everything by myself, the design and stuff. But I wanted something more interactive with people, because it can be quite lonely, being in front of your computer and things like that. So I said, I want something, to be. I want to be with people. I miss the street culture, So I said. Around 2 years ago, I said, I have to do that. So I started thinking names. This is where I came up with the help of friends, Greek Street Yeeros. And then I said initially, I'll start from markets. Right. I mean, my brother was already going in markets, and I was helping him, so it was kind of easier to access.
What was your brother doing already at the markets?
He was doing Greek street food as well.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah. We all kind of we were doing. My dad and my brother they started doing it first, and I was helping them. So then I said, I want to do it.
They were doing their variation of street food, but it wasn't Greek Street Yeeros.
No. It was a different. They have a different name, but they were going to markets. So I joined the markets with Greek Street Yeeros as well.
So it's all about kind of learning as well as you're going.
Yeah. So I started going to markets, and then. Life brought. I was always had in my mind Barras, so I went to Barras, and as soon as I went to Barras, I saw the shop, and I said, I would like to have a unit here, and this is where I started having the shop. Pretty much since last summer or something. Yeah,
really fast.
It was extremely fast. I mean, I had the idea. I was building the idea, the logos and things like that, maybe a year, 1 year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
But then officially I started maybe, last summer.
Yeah.
When everything was kind of, all the pieces of the puzzle were kind of connected. Yeah.
Coming as like a very creative person, you think it's kind of important to have like a visualization of like, well, that's what it's going to be. That's what I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
But I need to have that, because I mean, like you see, even going back from graffiti, you need like that inspiration and the thoughts and where I'm going to put it. Because I think as spontaneous as the Greeks are, and also, I mean, the Scots are known for spontaneity as well.
Definitely, especially Glasgow.
But when it comes to creative stuff and wanting to be good, you need to kind of visualize it and kind of move towards it in the right way.
One thing that I really have is that I can picture things.
Yeah.
I have vision, and I can see images. It's very hard when I try to explain to other people, because they people can find me a little bit complex when it comes to vision.
Right. Okay.
But I see it very clear. For me, it's no complex. But as an architect and obviously creative person, artist, I start draw or do sketches, and I use visualization software. So I've done everything, in 3D design, and it should be like that. It should be like that. This should go there. Flowers should go there. So yeah. So this is what I enjoy a lot, because it's I was always an artist and architect. So I try to bring my element there as well. So yeah, it's very exciting journey from zero up until now. Every step is really exciting,
Well, let's talk about the food.
Yeah.
Because I've got to ask, even going out to the food markets and then of course the Battlelands, what was the initial reaction? Because like you say, it's Greek food's always been presented in a particular way. What was the initial reaction? Was it slow or was it quick?
The first market that I went at the Barras, it was the Pride market.
Right.
The queue was at least 20 meters, 15 meters.
Wow. Something. So straight out the gate.
So that was day one.
Wow.
Well, I was like that as well. I was like that. Like I said, what's happening?
This will take a little while.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, and because it was the very first, as I said, it was the very first time at the Barras.
Yeah.
And people were queuing, like, as I said, 15 meters or something.
Wow.
I was like, I didn't know what to think, but because you have to perform, you just have to shut, your brain, like, don't
I
think
knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah. No, you just have to keep going, help, serve the food and make people, cook for the people something that they will really enjoy, you know, and they will be happy eating it, you know. So yeah, like from day one, pretty much it was really busy.
So it's kind of become like the Clydeside. It became like a destination. It's like somewhere we need to go and get Greek Street Yeeros.
Yeah.
People were coming to the city. We're gonna go down and get Greek Street Yeeros.
Yeah.
But there's another thing as well that I did notice was how quickly on social media it seemed to be that you were starting to get like influencers coming down and people tagging it and people really going, "This is a place you've got to go." What do you think was the reason for that? Would you think it was because it is? I mean, like you say, there's a real honesty to it. There's a real passion to it. There's a real kind of cool, kind of new age vibe to it as well, which is you see in some places down at the bars, but you guys really on that street corner, you really stand out. Everyone, you're like a centerpiece, right?
As I say, we are in the heart of the Barras.
Yeah,
because it's in the crossroad and it's in the heart of the Barras. I think it's because our approach is different. It's unique. Other Greek businesses, they are following the same kind of marketing, you know, the same approach. It's not even marketing for me, you know. It's not. It comes natural. So our approach is what gets people. It gets them curious.
Yeah.
And they get this feeling of freshness, you know, youthful image. And spontaneity as well.
People like that.
Yeah, people love that.
Whatever age you are, people like that.
Definitely. Everyone, we want to be young forever.
Oh, there we go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
forever.
we'll be forever young. You know, like that's the Greek Yeeros message. You know, we'll always be young. It will never change. Yeah.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Exactly. Yeah.
But getting to the food. I mean, like you say, it's people are looking for something in the middle of the day. They're looking for something that's going to fill them up, but it's not going to, you know, overfill them up.
Yeah.
And you're giving this fresh, kind of clean, tasty alternative to it as well. As we said, in terms of putting like the whole menu together, where did you start with that? Because obviously you know what Greek Street Yeeros is, but you want to make sure you want to give it to how do you start putting your menu together?
So obviously there are the classic kind of Athenian recipes from Athens, which are the classic ones.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, the tzatziki or the mustard mayo sauce with the onions, tomatoes, you know, the meat and the fries. This is kind of the traditional one. But since, you know, we want to be creative and obviously spontaneous, we do specials as well, you know, every week. You know, the traditional Greek sausage, for example, which we put it in the pita wrap.
Right.
Or like this weekend with the seafood market festival, we did the fish fingers and chips inside with lettuce, and we did the skordalιά, which is kind of garlicky mashed potato with olive oil. Instead, we replaced the tzatziki and we put that sauce because it goes in Greece. We serve that with mainly with fish.
So
skordalιά, yeah.
Do you experiment a lot on your own before going, right, I'm going to present this to our customers? Or has it got to that point where you think you know the palette, you think you know what your combinations you're putting together really well?
Yeah.
I know this is going to work. People are going to love this.
I trust my palate so much. I have very picky palate.
Oh, nice.
So I'm actually, you know, my girlfriend and you know, my friends, you know, sometimes they say, oh, you walk in the restaurant like you are a critic, you know, like you know, like so people know that I'm when it comes to taste, I'm very demanding.
Right. Okay.
So,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, in a bad way. Yeah, I mean, I have a certain place where I go to get my burgers.
Yeah.
I have a certain place where I go and get my pizza.
Yes.
I don't change this place.
Yeah.
You know, when I want pizza, I go there. When I want burger, I go there. So I choose things very, when it comes to taste, very, you know, my palate probably is not myself. My palate is very demanding.
Right. Okay.
So
you want Greek Street Yeeros to be the place that you would go to get your Yeeros.
Yes, and because I have very sensitive palate, and and when I eat something nice, I know that it's nice.
Yes.
So this is what I give to the clients as well.
I love
to the people.
I love that you call them clients.
No, it's not clients. I don't like.
I
don't
love
like.
that you call them clients because it kind of makes you feel a bit special when you're coming in. You know, you're just not treated as it's just not a cash grab and away you go.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the cool things we noticed when we were down is every kind of person gets a little bit of connection. Like they will go, "Oh, what's this? Oh, it's ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this. Let me put this together for you." And I think people kind of feel special. They feel a connection to it.
I would like to call them the people, like maybe Yeeros kings or queens.
Oh,
because
I love that.
the hat doesn't have it, but we have like a crown.
Yes.
Like this is kind of our symbol, like a crown, like a Yeeros king, like queens, so
Yeeros kings and queens.
It's kind of hip hop as well, because in hip hop, kings and queens, you know that it's you kind of hear it a lot. Yeah,
I'll be honest, I really think there's money in that. I really think there's money in that. But it's not just the Yeeros. I mean, the whole restaurant's got a wonderful vibe to it. I know it will do when it's at the Clydeside as well, because I mean, all the eateries are going to be just fantastic, but they're all going to have their own individual identities.
Definitely,
and you do that all the way from the Yeeros menu and present it with people. But also, I mean, one of the things I call I'm a fizzy drinks guy, was the accompaniment of drinks. And hey, how easy would it be to go, oh, it's just Diet Coke and blah, 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 blah. But no, you and your picky palates.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it important to you that it needed to be something that went with the meal?
Yeah, I mean, Greece has hundreds of thousands Greek products, like fizzy drinks, alcoholic drinks, I mean, desserts, limitless variety. So yeah, like Lux, for example, the drinks that we have, the cherry, the lemon, the orange, they're part of our culture as well. We grew up drinking these drinks, so and they are super tasty, like as soon as people try them, they say, wow, this is I mean, yeah, it's an orange fizzy juice, but it's different. It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different.
It's important. It's important to the experience, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's important to the experience.
As I said, Greek Street Yeeros is not about food. It's culture. Yeah. It's beyond. It's everything. Yeah. If it's not, it's not just giving, just Yeeros. It's the whole culture, giving the whole experience.
Yeah. So you want the food to be super tasty. You want to feel ingrained in the kind of street culture, feeling a little bit of the Greek culture in there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you even had baklava, I think, the day I was out, and and getting good stuff is not easy. And no disrespect to
it's not easy. No,
it's not easy to get good stuff. And I can't remember. I think you had a couple of other desserts.
Yeah, portocalopita, which is the orange pie.
That's right, the orange pie.
The orange pie. And then we want to make a wee deli section where people can be getting Greek stuff. But again, filtered from my picky first from my picky palate. So yeah, a little deli section where we can have more, because I'm so excited to give to people to try the taste of Greece, taste of Athens, taste of Greece, like I'm so happy when people try this and they say, wow, we love it, we'll come back to get it again,
Yeah. There's always something a little bit different to it as well.
Yeah. Excite people, people.
And that's why people keep coming back. And that's why they're going to keep coming back at the Clydeside as well. Although I did think it was funny in the day we were in as well, you talked about the big family, the 15 members of family and cousins. Your girlfriend, she was drafted into work on the day because you've been so busy.
Yeah.
What's that like, working with your other half? Because mine's has had enough of me, so I don't think I could even get her to help me with anything.
I think sometimes I'm tired of myself as well. It's when you have a lot of ideas, when you are creative, there's always this kind of element of insecurity, because you create things. So when you create things, there's always this element of how do you say it? Trial and error. So pretty much things might not work the way you were imagined. You put all your nerves. So yeah, there's always this kind of like with my girlfriend, me trying different things. She likes security. But
right, okay.
I'm flourishing when there's no security.
I get you.
You
I
know.
get you.
So, but yeah, I mean, we help each other, and at the end of the day, we manage. We manage
yes.
to help each other, and like we love this journey. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Clydeside. I know how excited you are about this because it's like another step. It's another because obviously there's going to be this collaboration between all these wonderful places.
Yeah, which I love. I love that.
And the live events venue. I know you're used to that down at the Badlands already, and obviously there's going to be the live events element to it as well. Because there's going to be more people discovering you than ever before.
Yeah.
As well, because you're already a king of social media, as we know. But without giving anything away, what's the big sell? What can we expect when Greek Street Yeeros hits the Clydeside Containers? What are we looking at?
Well, I mean, I really love the fact that there will be, many people there.
Yeah.
I mean, I love already. We know some of these people already,
Yes.
which I know few. And I really like what they are doing.
Yes.
They are really amazing on what they are doing, and I'm getting. I guess I hope I inspire them and they inspire me, and it's all about that. It's all about we are not perfect.
Yes.
It's about inspiration, get inspiration from each other and push each other. To get better and better and excite people. You know what I mean? So I love this. I love this vibrant and creative atmosphere. Be with Clydeside Containers will be, I can't really wait for it, the gigs, the people, the energy, the music, stand-up comedy, all these things are...
And you're going to be bringing Greek Street Yeeros, which you constantly evolve as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So if people come one day and they maybe go, I'm going to go for a burger, but I'm going to come back to Greek Street Yeeros.
Exactly, yeah.
Then they come back to Greek Street Yeeros and go, I'm going to come back next week to Greek Street Yeeros.
And we'll be having, again, specials, so people... will not. They will be coming back and they will be surprised. That this is a new thing. And that's the whole idea. Surprise people, excite people, give them something that they've never tried before. And make them happy.
Oh, yeah. But that's what it's all about. Making stuff happen.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, I love
definitely,
it.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait as well. Yeah.
George, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeeros is coming. Well, that's all we got time for in this episode of the Clydeside Containers podcast. We're excited to see you soon. And don't forget to head down and get a wee taste of Greek Street Yeeros. Bye.